Hi, fellow signature agents. Broker Ben Schachter here with a very special episode of Get to Know Your Favorite Mortgage Lender. Today I am accompanied by our exclusive mortgage partner, CEO of Signature Choice Mortgage Group, Emmanuel St. Germain. Emmanuel.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me, Ben.
Very, very excited to have Emmanuel today. We all know him well. He's attended many of our company functions. He participates in all of our Wednesday morning coaching. A lot of you have spoken to him. But today we're going to dive deep into a brand new, radically exciting mortgage product that Emmanuel has developed here exclusively at his company, Choice Mortgage, for you all at Signature to benefit and utilize to help grow your business. Emmanuel calls this product the Signature Seller's Choice Mortgage Program. We're very excited to learn about it. So, Emmanuel, you developed this product. Let us know what you've come up with.
The general premise of the product is that what we understood is we tried to get into a seller's perspective. And what we've noticed is the industry in general is used to dealing with buyers and buyers agents only, but no one has ever really targeted sellers and listing agents. And so we tried to take a different approach that was a little bit unique and figure out how could we add value to a seller. And so we started coming up with certain things about whether it was a pre-approvals, the amount of times on for financing contingencies, and just different parameters of the contracts that we thought that if the listing agent had a true partner that could help them identify what was a true and really sophisticated finance offer, that they would be better off. So we came up with this program. It's got some different parameters that I'm sure we'll get into as well.
I can't wait to learn more about it. You know, it's a very interesting approach. Most people in the mortgage space specifically target buyer's agents. Of course, buyers are the ones borrowing funds to purchase a home. But you're taking a whole different angle working with sellers and listing agents. And I think that's really, really forward thinking and something that's been missing in the market for a long time. Listing agents oftentimes are working with blinders on. They're collecting offers on their listings, and in essence, they're presenting it to their sellers, but they don't really know the meat and potatoes of what's going on in that offer. Of course, if it's cash, it's plain and simple, but if there's a mortgage contingency portion of that offer, they really don't know what to believe, what's going to happen, close, occur, what the feedback is on the quality of the lender, and they're going to stand by their word on perhaps that pre-approval or that commitment. So tell us more about that.
So it starts with, it's all about inventory. And in a market where inventory is lacking, and yes, we were just discussing off air that inventory is starting to come up a little bit, but even so, what's happening is that the offers that you are getting, it's so much more important today when you don't have 10, 15 offers on a property to make sure that you're not taking the house off the market with the wrong offer. The last thing anyone wants to have is to have a financed offer. You think you're getting your full price. Your sellers are excited. You're cashing that check already. And next thing you know, on day 29 of a 30-day financing contingency, the buyer's lender, who you've never heard of out of California or somewhere else, denies the loan. And now we're back to market. Now there's all the costs of marketing again, and just the whole process of having to start over. So what we decided to do was to essentially say, okay, look, number one thing is going to be, let's make sure that we communicate with the seller and with the listing agent, and let's make sure that nobody puts in an offer that's not doable, something that's not feasible that we can get right away. So for us, our financing contingency right now is at 10 days. We feel that's a strong number. It's based on the fact that our applications and our documentation, we don't pre-approve anyone without reviewing all of the income, the assets, and their credit. So we're ready to make a decision. For those of the agents that have been here, they also know that all decisions are made internally right here in our Boca office. Marla, our underwriting manager's over there, Jared's there, I'm here. So all of the decision-making process can happen right here in-house. So speed was something that we wanted to make sure that we were offering the sellers, along with this close-on time guarantee. So the close-on time guarantee, essentially, what we're doing is we are putting our money where our mouth is, essentially, for a lack of a better way of saying it. And so we're telling Mr. and Mrs. Seller that if you accept an offer that has a pre-approval from Signature Choice Mortgage Group, we will guarantee as long as the following parameters are met. And again, depending, each loan is a little bit different. But the idea is to make sure that we want you, in whatever plans you are going to make after you close and sell on this home, that you're able to honor those plans, whether it's moving, whether it's buying another property, etc. So,
You know, listing agents oftentimes lose credibility with their sellers with issues that are beyond their control. They bring in an offer that comes from a mortgage lender and a buyer from a mortgage lender that no one's ever heard of. Or maybe even it's a reputable company. It could be one of the big banks. The listing agent says to the seller, this is a great offer, you should accept this offer. And the deal goes awry at some point during the pending period, which you mentioned. A lot of times the seller won't just project their frustration on the buyer who failed them and the buyer's lender who failed them, but right back in the lap of the listing agent who's working and advocating for them. So by not having the right lender, it can come back to haunt the listing agent. So in your model, you want to really work with listing agents. So if I understand correctly, we want the listing agents to actually market the property vis-a-vis the MLS, and through broker remarks, we should indicate that we want any buyers who are looking to purchase this property to get qualified with Signature Choice Mortgage to make sure they're legitimate. Is my understanding that correctly?
yeah, that's spot on. What we want to do is we want to help the listing agent navigate the offers. And you do that by allowing us to pre-approve all of the offers, the finance offers on the property. Now, we certainly can't force any buyer to do business with us, and nor do we want to. But the idea is that by allowing the certain verbiage, and we'll provide the legal verbiage that works for both of our companies, into the broker remarks, it's giving us an opportunity to prevent anything from going wrong. It's preventing anything from going wrong because there's accountability. There's accountability in our partnership. There's accountability in the fact that we are here every single day, and that you've got someone there. You know, it's unfortunate sometimes that some very large companies, you think they are in a trustworthy position because of the name and because of some of the things they do. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to a mortgage transaction, it's not the same thing. They're just, you know, when I walk into my bank, I know everybody there. You know who I don't know? I don't know the underwriting manager who's actually going to review my loan, because they're not sitting in that bank. So it's a different process. And I think that a lot of sellers, and I think that a lot of listing agents, a lot of sellers don't know the difference. And I think a lot of listing agents sometimes get excited they got an offer. And to your point, I think I couldn't have said it any better. I don't think that they are putting themselves in a position to truly understand that when you accept an offer that doesn't go through, whether you had anything to do with it or not, you are going to get blamed. At the end of the day, all that matters for the listing agent, what they should want is success. And success is a fast, smooth transaction. Communication was transparent, and everybody gets exactly what they want. And that's what we want to provide. And that's why we want to, ahead of time, pre-approve individuals so that they know they're only accepting offers that will close.
So our signature listing agents that are listening and learning today, they should be approaching their sellers, making an introduction over to Signature Choice Mortgage, and suggesting to their sellers to sign on to the Signature Choice Mortgage Seller Guarantee. Because by doing so, it enables you to have a warm introduction to the seller. The seller can have confidence that there's somebody with a greater knowledge of mortgages than us as realtors that'll be reviewing offers that'll come in, and you'll be able to help qualify any buyers. And even if the buyer does want to use their own best friend who's a loan officer, at least you can have your eyes on that transaction and review it to see if the seller should be entertaining it. Makes good sense.
Of course, and listen again, obviously we want the buyers to use us. But that's not solely what we're trying to do here. We are trying to make sure that the listing agent looks like a hero to their client, the seller, and that's how they'll get more referrals. We've even added another incentive for the seller to make the offer even greater, which is if the seller is buying something on the other end of their transaction,
which they typically are,
and they are financing, we will, and they use Signature Choice Mortgage, we'll waive our bank fees, which, again, you're talking $1,600, $1,700 of a credit that they wouldn't otherwise get.
It's incredibly generous. So now they're getting the benefit of having your eyes and your hands on their sale of their home, checking out and qualifying the buyer, and hopefully earning the buyer's financing business, giving them peace of mind, letting them make comfortable moving plans so that they can prepare their trucks and packing their home and getting ready to acquire or relocate to their other property. And if they need financing for that other acquisition, you're going to help save them a few dollars there as well. It's a win-win-win. It checks every single box.
Yeah, it's all about control. At the end of the day, the most successful of the agents, the most successful of the loan officers, we all want control of the transaction. And you do that by being, for us, we're both very proactive people. Whether it's in your contract, whether it's how we do business, everything is about being proactive to ensure that we're going to achieve the outcome that we're looking to do. And that's all we're doing. We're simply trying to get ahead of the industry and understand that, hey, not every offer is the same. So let's make sure that when you accept an offer, it's got the backing, the stamp of approval from Signature Choice Mortgage, and hopefully that buyer uses us. But to your point, it's not the only thing. What's most important is that you know that we have verified everything for that buyer, and that buyer is making a great offer, so your seller is in great hands.
You know, I want to compliment you and your staff. All of your staff's phenomenal. I had a recent, really positive incident with Adam in your office. He was brought in by one of our sellers to provide financing to a buyer. And what was fascinating is since the seller asked Adam to get involved early, really following your program here, there was a great relationship between Adam and the seller, even though Adam didn't represent the seller. Adam was working for financing for the buyer. Down the road, the buyer wanted to get out of the contract for whatever reason and say, hey, Adam, get me out of this contract. Give me a denial letter. Because the relationship starts with the seller, Adam said, absolutely not. You're qualified for financing. You have your loan approval. And that, to me, was an aha moment. And sellers oftentimes don't realize how often buyers could do unscrupulous things such as that. But by having the relationship between the seller and your company, Signature Choice, great officer like yourself, like Adam and whatnot, it really shows that we can keep deals together. We can keep the messiness out of the transactions, keep everybody honest and on their toes. Because if that seller didn't have faith in Signature Choice, bringing them into the transaction early, who knows if that deal would have closed and if it would have derailed their future acquisition of their next property. So I love what you're doing. I love the way you train your staff. Having everything in-house, everything in a controlled environment is similar to how we operate at Signature Real Estate, and this is just reason 115 that I chose you to be my exclusive mortgage partner. I couldn't be happier. Any last-minute things you'd like to share on this entire program?
Just I think in general, it's all part of it's part of the partnership, but it's really part of understanding that we all want the same thing. And we understand in everything that we do, and our core values are all about wowing our clients, our referral partners, and our employees. And we think the same thing of the seller. You know, and this whole concept is no one ever thinks about them. They just think about the buyer. And I think that the more that we can keep doing these out-of-the-box concepts, the greater we'll kind of change, we'll be able to change real estate and just be ahead of the curve. The same way that I compliment you, and thank you for complimenting our team, I compliment you for your buyer-broker agreement that, you know, now all of a sudden is becoming major headlines, and you know, everyone is asking to use your paperwork. So, you know, the same thing, and I think that's why we get along so well, and again, I thank you for your partnership as well.
Emmanuel, it's a true pleasure. Everybody at Signature, this is the guy, this is the team. Everyone at Signature Choice Mortgage is first in class, best in class. You won't find better. www.sigchoicemtg.com. And if you want to email them, the entire team, almost like we have Sarah, they have their own Sarah. Ask, A-S-K, at sigchoicemtg.com, and they'll be happy to help you with anything you need. Thanks, Emmanuel, and thank you to everybody for Signature Choice Mortgage and today's awesome announcement with this great product. Have a great day.